we do want to check in with WPTV News Channel 5's Tori Dunn. And Tori, we've since learned that although law enforcement has really wrapped up on the outside, we are still seeing some FBI agents inside that auto zone where a van believed to belong to Sayak was found.
You're exactly right about that. The van was actually taken from this location, basically right here in the auto zone. This is where we saw them tow it away from. Again, this is Plantation 441 near Southwest 8th Street. It's going to be really difficult to see, but we'll try our best because FBI agents remain in the store right now. Again, we know that van was taken away from here. The suspect was arrested. The van, we've started to see more and more images of it come out. It was a white van with multiple stickers, bumper stickers on it. You can see that the media just waiting outside, trying to get pictures of the FBI agents or whatever might be happening inside. We'll try to walk you up to the glass, see a spot if you want to go up to the glass so they can see what's happening inside. It appears FBI agents are still inside. They're talking to someone who may be a worker here. They've actually closed this auto zone until tomorrow morning at 7:15 p.m. There's been some word here that someone might come out and talk to the media, but as you can tell, a lot of people here, FBI remains in the store gathering evidence, obviously getting surveillance video. They took away the van. If we can walk back out here, give you a sense of where this auto zone is. NBC obviously now confirming that the arrest happened here at the auto zone in Plantation. A lot of activity right now. This remains a central part of the investigation.
That story, and obviously that agent inside, we saw the female agent talking with a man that looked like he had on an AutoZone shirt behind the cash register. Any further indication from anyone that you've been able to talk to? I know it's very difficult in these fluid situations. Everything's a bit chaotic right now, but you mentioned those homes across the street. Has anyone been able to give you any insight into when FBI agents might have shown up at this location?
They have not been able to do that, and there are a lot of businesses nearby as well. There's a laundromat as well as some restaurants and other places, and just no one wants to talk right now. I think they're waiting, obviously, until more information comes out, but anyone in the area hasn't really spotted anything, or if they have, we haven't seen that person yet. But let's go back up to the auto zone window here so you can get a better sense of what still remains in this investigation. This is going to be a long process. We know in these cases that they do try to gather as much as they can, so they could be in there for a long time. But again, NBC reporting that he was a customer here, not an employee. AutoZone has said not an employee, a customer here. The store closed, will reopen tomorrow at 7:15 this morning. And activity with law enforcement remains inside. As you see that FBI agent, there's also a female inside wearing a gray shirt, potentially an AutoZone shirt. Yes, it is. She just turned. They're talking to her. Unclear, obviously, what they're talking about. As this is law enforcement activity happening inside, and the news remains outside. Erica.
Tori, it's pretty safe to say that one of the big pieces of evidence these agents are working on getting their hands on is the surveillance video from that store. An AutoZone, you know, a corporate store that is definitely equipped with several cameras. You pointed out the spot where that van was towed away from. I know you've walked to the other side of the building, but is there any way that you can look up and show us whether or not there is one or more cameras pointed in that direction and kind of give us an inside look into what those cameras may be able to show these agents?
Sure, I'm going to have to work with our photographer here on scene as I described to him exactly what you want to see. So the FBI agent is there in the store talking with people who work at AutoZone, other law enforcement there. If you go up towards the ceiling, you're going to see that there are surveillance cameras inside that store. Again, we know from NBC now and AutoZone saying that this was not an employee, it was a customer, so presumably these cameras have the customer on video. They're trying to gather the surveillance video as well. And towards the front of this store as well, you see the front entrance. This is the camera that catches you as you walk inside the front door. We can walk around the side if you do want us to see if there are some more surveillance cameras over there. But this is one sort of piece of the puzzle. Obviously, when they took away that van, it was covered in the blue tarp as they are gathering a ton of evidence that's from that van. We know that there'll be a lot of looking into the evidence on those suspicious packages as well, that they'll be able to maybe find a lot from there as well. But surveillance video and cameras on the side of the building, I would assume that they exist somewhere, although oftentimes businesses don't clearly want them to be identified in their exact locations. But the van itself was right here in this parking lot when they did tow it away. And Erica, at this point, we don't really know when the FBI arrived here. We're trying to find more people in the area, but for now, everyone just seems pretty tight-lipped about it. They don't want to get involved in an investigation like this.
Well, Tori, this is huge because you mentioned that we've now confirmed that he was a customer there. So not only will these investigators be going over that surveillance video, but also the receipts. And you showed us that really extensive, advanced video surveillance system they have. So really those cameras will be able to capture every moment that this man may have walked in or out of that store, and whether or not he was by himself, with someone else, and also exactly what he purchased. It's an AutoZone shop. We know that you can find a lot of different items there, and we know that some of these packages contained batteries.
Right, they're going to be able to look at the receipt and see everything he purchased there, see him on the surveillance video. We know the FBI's work is far from done here. There's not that large police presence. The entire area isn't taped off when the van itself was removed and when the arrest happened, but law enforcement still has a presence here as well. And not only this store here, the AutoZone, they're going to be going to nearby businesses, nearby homes, and making sure that no one saw anything there, or seeing if anyone knows anything. This investigation will go on for days and weeks and months to come, Erica.
And Tori, not to mention, I know we didn't see any of this evidence collecting happening this morning, but like you indicated, they could have been there overnight. Fingerprints have played a big role, and DNA evidence in his arrest. So obviously they'll be processing inside and outside of that store. But right now, really all you've seen happen is that agent just having a conversation inside, correct?
Yeah, all we're seeing right now is everyone's pressed up against the glass here because the FBI agents, a couple of them, remain inside talking to people who work here at the AutoZone and going over more information regarding this investigation. And then, of course, when we got here on scene, we saw dozens and dozens of members of law enforcement from multiple agencies, some carrying long guns as they were surrounding that van, taking it away. We did not see an arrest itself. We saw law enforcement escort that van away from this area as well, probably 6 or 7 units as they took it away for a lab for evidence. But right now, we're waiting for the FBI to come out of this store here for more information. And people have set up kind of a podium in case there is some sort of news conference, in case the store owners want to talk as well. But it's unclear if they want to. They put that sign on the front door saying they're closed until 7:15 tomorrow morning. But that's the latest here from the AutoZone in Plantation, where the van was taken away, the arrest was made, a lot of activity outside and inside. It still remains, Erica.
And Tori, I know it's really been quite a frenzy for all of those crews we see behind you this morning, from Opelika to speaking with Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, where you were when you got the call to head to Plantation because this was all developing just down the road. Were you able to ask the Congresswoman any questions about this development, or had that kind of wrapped up before we got this confirmed?
You know, this was really interesting because she held that news conference and she went into early vote, and then literally the second she gets in the car, the news comes out. We see it on Twitter. Looks like something's happening. Let's come up and see. Something is happening here.
I think they're coming out.
I think they're coming out right now, so if I don't talk, you guys know why. It looks like FBI is coming out as well as an employee at the store.
Oh my gosh, come on. Sam, are they going to take this?
Anything to say?
You're an employee here? I got it.
Do you have any? All right, Erica, we are going to send it back to you as we are working to get more information. Did you see him today?
Any connection to the AutoZone?
So it looks like the FBI agents there escorting an employee or someone else out of the store. That way the media is unable to ask them questions, and understandably so, just because this is such a huge ongoing investigation. They don't want the wrong information being put out, but we are going to get some more confirmed details from the Department of Justice when they hold that news conference at 2:30 this afternoon.